Speaking of like multiplayer modes in games, this is what I wanted to talk to you about as. Alright, Batman Arkham Knight was absolutely supposed to be a multiplayer game, and I will die on that hill. Did you ever like see the old ads for Batman Arkham Knight? And there were shots in those ads that had Batman, Nightwing, Robin, and I think Catwoman all together in the same shots. And that never actually happens in the game. And I get the impression that they had always planned to put multiplayer in that game, but then for whatever reason couldn't. And so that's why you got the weird switching characters mechanic for the rest of the game. Because man, multiplayer Arkham Knight, that would have been sick. I would even go so far as to say that was almost false advertising. Because from every trailer, it looked like there was going to be something so sick. That was a huge selling point for me for Arkham Knight. Oh, true, that does make a lot of sense. Arkham Knight co-op would have made so much sense. It adds my own. I can only imagine. It's like they tried to implement it, but just couldn't. And that's why, like, you got to switch between Batman and Robin whenever you were in Batman's sex dungeon with the three Jokers. Especially seeing how scuffed Gotham Knights ended up being, Arkham Knight co-op would have been Kino. As well, maybe that was the reason why they couldn't include it. Because if they had included it, you would have gotten Gotham Knights, what was it, 7 years earlier? What's the time difference between Arkham Knight and Gotham Knights? 7 years, isn't it? And Arkham Knight's 9 years old now. I want to see if I can find those trailers. Hang on. Let me see if I can't find like those early gameplay trailers for Arkham Knights. Because this annoyed the shit out of me when the game first came out. Am I just gonna have to show the thumbnail? Yes! Here! When does this happen? This never happens in the game. Ever. This was such false advertising. Multiplayer was absolutely supposed to be in this game. Swear to God. Honestly, what killed Gotham Knights is... Yeah, but like by that time, I'm pretty sure that a lot of like the main staff members who actually worked on the Arkham games, they were gone by that point. By the time Arkham Knights was being developed, if I recall. Because you gotta understand, like, I've become... Man... Crash 4... Keep coming back to this. Crash 4 and 5 and that whole, like, shindig with Activision and Blizzard, that's really taught me that, like, brands don't matter. Even individual video game company brands don't matter. What matters is just, like, the general, like, you gotta follow these different, like, the actual individual people who are making these games. Because like, Rocksteady, and even whenever Arkham Knights was being sorry, not Arkham Knights, Gotham Knights was being developed, that Rocksteady was not the same Rocksteady that was making Arkham Knights. Like, most of the staff were gone at that point. But what do you think about all that as, do you think, I'm pretty solid in my theory that Arkham Knight was supposed to have multiplayer at some point. Also, I can definitely see co-op being a part of Arkham Knight initial concept, especially since Arkham Asylum was initially supposed to have a multiplayer mode, the code for which was used for Origins. Alright then. Didn't know that. Arkham City, sorry, Arkham City was supposed to have multiplayer. A Freudian slip up for my adoration of Asylum. Yeah. I like Asylum too. Although, it's like how people call Arkham Knight the worst in the series just because of its plot issues. Do they? But as a game, it's a phenomenal sequel, like so many quality of life changes and overall design tweaks, where the game is mad fun to play like. Yeah, its plot is weak AF, but the game is le good AF. Is it? I really like the plot of Arkham Knight. Is that just me? I didn't know it was hated. Because, like, man, that whole trilogy, I think that is just objectively the best ever story they've done with, like, Batman and Joker. I mean, like, just the Batman and Joker stuff. That's, like, objectively the best adaptation of their characters, I think, ever. And, like, even the animated series, I don't think anything in the animated series comes close to the to the dynamic of the relationship between Joker and Batman in Night. Like the fact having Mark Hamill Joker have access to Bruce Wayne at all times and know everything about him at all times just adds so much. I love it. I've come around to enjoy Night's plot. I do not love it, but I do really enjoy its themes. I gotta replay it to come up with a final conclusion since I'm on the Arkham Marathon. Alright. I really love Arkham Knight. I would say, if gun to my head, what's the best Arkham games? It's City, Knight, Asylum, Origins, and forget the rest. Whoa! Titus just shot me! Did you see that? He just went bop off me. Alright, Titus, I'm sorry. I didn't think I was playing that bad. He heard me put Arkham City at #1 and was just sort of like, bruh.